I turned 30 and decided to throw myself a party. Nobody came. A week later, my mother, Isabel, sent an invitation. Your father Fernando's 50th birthday is coming up. It will be at the Miraflores Hotel. An unforgettable night. The cost is €1,800 per person. Please send me Bysum before Friday. Love you all. There wasn't even an apology, just an invoice. I opened Bysum, sent €1 and added a note, congratulations. Then I changed the locks on my apartment and blocked all their numbers. 2 days later, my sister Camila tried to access our joint account. Blocked. Then they reported me as a missing person and the Guardia Civil showed up at my door. I decided to throw my party without high expectations, just a few family members, some drinks, and maybe a few laughs to mark the day. I booked El Refugio Bar, bought a cake, and sent out the invitations. As the night wore on, I checked my phone again and again. 7 p.m., nothing. 8 p.m., still nothing. By 9 p.m., it was obvious no one was coming. The bartender gave me a sympathetic half-smile. Are you okay? He asked. I forced a laugh. Yeah, they're just running late, I guess. He poured me a whiskey. On the house. I thanked him, cut a small, untouched slice of cake and ate it alone, pretending not to notice the pitying glances from others. Around 10 p.m., I gave up. I gathered the cake, left a tip, and walked home, mentally replaying every message I'd sent. Did I do something wrong? Was there a joke I didn't get? A week later, I was in the middle of a work call when my phone vibrated. A group message from my mother. Hi family, your father's 50th birthday is coming up. We'll celebrate at the Miraflores Hotel. It will be an unforgettable night. The cost is €1,800 per person. Please send me Bysum before Friday. Love you all. I blinked, incredulous. Was this a joke? Not a single mention of my birthday, no apology for the party they ignored, just a demand for money. Then my sister Camila replied, already sent the money, Mom. Can't wait, Dad will love it. My brother Mateo added, me too, looking forward to it. I felt something inside me snap. I didn't even get a happy birthday from any of them, not a text, not a call, but now I was expected to pay almost €2,000 for my father's birthday. I opened Bysum, sent €1 and added a note, congratulations. Then I changed the locks on my apartment, blocked all the numbers in the family chat, and sat there, feeling a mixture of relief and emptiness. 2 days passed. Nothing. I almost thought they'd gotten the message until I received an alert from my bank, unauthorized attempt to access joint account. I laughed. Of course. I logged in, closed the account, and transferred the remaining funds to a private account. A minute later, my sister Camila tried calling me from another number. I didn't answer. On the third night, just as I was settling in to watch a movie, someone knocked insistently on the door. I looked through the peephole. 2 Guardia Civil officers. I opened cautiously. Can I help you? The taller officer cleared his throat. We've received a report of a missing person. Are you Alejandro Garcia? I looked at them, trying to understand. Yes, but I'm not missing. The shorter officer checked his notes. Your family reported they haven't been able to contact you for days and are worried. I laughed, a sound more bitter than amused. Did they tell you I blocked them? The officers exchanged glances. The taller one spoke again. Would you mind telling us why? I sighed, rubbing my hand over my forehead. They've been trying to access my accounts and take money. I blocked them to protect myself. The shorter officer raised an eyebrow. So, you're okay? You're just avoiding contact. Exactly. I'm not missing. I'm just done. They hesitated. Would you be willing to call them and let them know you're okay? That would clear things up. I thought for a second, then shook my head. No. If they keep harassing me, I'll file a restraining order. The officers nodded, visibly relieved not to be dealing with a real emergency. Understood. Let us know if the situation escalates. When they left, I felt a strange sense of victory until one of them paused at the door. Mr. Garcia, one last thing, the taller officer said, his tone more serious. If your family can't reach you, they might escalate this. I frowned. What do you mean by that? People can do desperate things when they feel isolated. If they keep calling or trying anything else, you should be prepared. They left, and I stood frozen by the door. This wasn't over. It had barely begun. A car pulled up outside. My father's. Fernando stepped out, wearing that disappointed patriarch expression I knew so well. Alejandro, his voice low, laden with false disappointment. What are you doing? Why are you behaving like this? I'm behaving like someone who's tired of being used. You're making this all about money, he shouted, finally losing his facade of calm. Family is sacrifice. It's support. I shook my head. No, family is respect, and you've never had any for me. Respect. My mother, Isabel, let out a bitter, sharp laugh. We've done everything for you, and this is how you repay us? Everything for me? You mean letting me pay for your house, your vacations, Camila's wedding, Mateo's university? Or how you didn't even bother to show up for my birthday? Your birthday? Fernando scoffed. You're 30 years old. Grow up. Yeah, growing up means continuing to pay your bills, right? Well, not anymore. He stepped closer, his voice dropping. We raised you, we fed you, we educated you. You owe us. I don't owe you anything, I said, my voice filled with firmness. Not a cent, not a minute. Nothing. My mother's voice cracked. You're destroying this family. I'm not destroying anything. I'm just stopping you from destroying me. Suddenly, another car pulled up. My sister, Camila, stormed out. Are you happy now? Mom's been crying all morning. Dad's blood pressure is through the roof. Spare me the drama, Camila, I said, crossing my arms. This is what you always do. You play the victim every time I stop giving you what you want. You're so selfish, she spat. You always think you're better than us. No, I've finally realized I deserve better than this. Fine. Go be alone then, she yelled, turning to my parents. Let's go. Let him rot. But before they got into their cars, my mother turned back, one last time, her face twisted with fury. One day you'll understand, Alejandro. You'll come crawling back, begging for forgiveness. I smiled. Don't count on it. They drove off, tires screeching, and the silence that remained felt like a clear, cold sky after a storm. I leaned against the door, my pulse racing. Then my phone vibrated. I almost ignored it until I saw the notification. Unauthorized attempt to access your bank account. My heart stopped for a second. They were trying to hack my account. Another notification. Password reset request received. They were desperate. But they didn't understand. The harder they pushed, the harder I would push back. I didn't wait. I opened the banking app and reviewed everything, every account, every credit card. Blocked. Two-factor authentication on everything. Then I went further. I called the bank. Yes, this is Alejandro Garcia. I want to place a security restriction on any joint accounts with the names of my family. Mr. Garcia, are you sure? This will completely restrict their access. I hope so. The next call was to Caja Rural de Valladolid. My name was still on the mortgage for the house where my parents lived. I co-signed years ago another favor they begged me for. I wasn't even sure they were still paying it. I need to temporarily freeze any changes to the mortgage account in the name of Alejandro Garcia, I stated. Understood, sir, but this could prevent the owner from making payments. Perfect. I hung up, and my phone vibrated again. Unknown number. I let it ring, but the messages kept coming. Alejandro, what are you doing? You're going to ruin everything. Isabel, you have no idea what you're starting. Camila, I ignored them. They wanted chaos. I would give them chaos. Then an email from my lawyer, Javier. It was short and direct. Alejandro, your family has attempted to remortgage the house without your consent. They need your signature. I blocked the attempt, but they may try something else. My jaw tightened. Of course, they were trying to take complete control behind my back. Another call. This time, I answered. Alejandro, it's your father, Fernando. His voice was low, almost calm, a false calm like a storm about to break. Speak quickly. Why are you doing this? Freezing the mortgage? Your mother is devastated. We're your family. No. I was your bank, and that's over. This is ridiculous. You're hurting everyone. I'm protecting myself. I saw the attempt to remortgage the house. I know what you're trying to do. Silence, then a sigh. We're trying to fix things, Alejandro. Fix things, or just take everything you can while you still have the opportunity? You're a burden. I hung up. My hands were shaking, but it wasn't fear, it was rage. They thought they could keep using me, draining me, and then discard me. No, not anymore. I called Javier. Javier, I want to sell my share of the house. I want it done quickly. Alejandro, that will force them to either buy you out or sell the house. Perfect. Within an hour, he sent me the documentation. The message was clear: pay me my share or lose the house. Another message lit up my phone. Do you really want to do this, Alejandro? Camila, you're going to destroy everything. Mom has been crying all day. I replied, I'm not destroying anything. I'm just taking back what's mine. Silence for an hour. Then a new message. Fine. You want a war? You'll get one. I laughed. They were so sure they could scare me. But I had more ammunition. I opened my email and composed a new message. Subject: Financial audit, family expenses body. Dear Javier, I want you to prepare a full audit of every expense I've covered for my family over the past 5 years. Mortgage payments, loans, credit card debts, tuition fees, everything. I want it itemized with dates and amounts. I pressed send. They wanted to see what I'd done for them? Fine. I would show them in cold, hard numbers. But I wasn't finished. I went through my messages, screenshots, and bank statements, compiling every piece of evidence of their manipulations, their pleas for money, their insults. They thought I was weak, that I would break. But they were about to learn what desperation really meant. Another loud, insistent knocking on the door. I looked through the peephole. It was Camila and my father, Fernando, their faces contorted with rage. Alejandro, open this door. Fernando yelled, his voice muffled but furious. Go away, I shouted back from inside. We need to talk. Camila shrieked. You can't do this. I already did. You think you can ruin me and get away with it? Fernando pounded on the door harder. You think you're so smart? I'm smarter than you thought, I replied, with a coldness I didn't even recognize in myself. Now get off my property before I call the Guardia Civil. Silence, a thick, heavy silence. Then Camila's voice, low and sharp, you'll see what happens next. They left, and I watched through the window as they argued by their car, pointing towards my apartment. Another message appeared on my phone. This won't end well for anyone. I smiled. They had no idea what they had started. For the first time in years, I was free. No calls, no messages, no emotional blackmail disguised as family support. Silence. I filled my days with work, finally catching up on projects I'd ignored. I went back to the gym. I reconnected with some friends, the ones who didn't disappear at the first sign of trouble. But the silence never lasts. It started with an email from Javier, my lawyer. My share of the house had been sold. But it wasn't as simple as I thought. The house wasn't even fully theirs. It still carried a hefty mortgage, and since I had co-signed that mortgage, they couldn't sell it without my signature. But instead of asking me for help, they tried to remortgage it without my knowledge. I blocked that attempt. So they had only one option left: sell the house, settle the mortgage, and pay me my share. But that wasn't enough. Even if they sold the house, it would only cover the mortgage and a small portion of what they owed me. I received the financial audit I'd requested. Every penny I'd paid for them over the years. Mortgage payments: €78,000 car loan for Fernando, €15,000 Camila's wedding, €22,000 Mateo's university tuition, €36,000 emergency family support, €51,000 total, €202,000, €202,000, almost $250,000. And that didn't even include the money I'd lost trying to please them. I sent the audit to the family WhatsApp group with a single message. I want it all. Every cent. And that's when the chaos truly began. First, a call from my father. Are you crazy? We're your family. You stopped being family the moment you treated me like an ATM. Where do you expect us to get that kind of money? Figure it out. Sell the house. Sell the cars. I don't care. You owe me. You're going to destroy us, Alejandro. No, I'm just taking back what's mine. Then a message from Camila. You're so selfish, you know that? Mom is crying. Dad looks like he's going to die. Are you proud of yourself? Pay Camila or don't. But I'm done. Then a call from my mother, Isabel, her voice trembling with desperation. Alejandro, please, we can't just give you €202,000. We don't have it. Then sell everything or start working for once. We raised you. We gave you everything. No, I paid for everything. And now it's your turn. The days turned into weeks. Javier kept me informed. They put the house on the market, a quick sale, but the market was slow. The price wasn't enough to cover the mortgage and my demand. So they sold the cars first. Fernando's Audi, then Isabel's sedan. Finally, even Camila's car, the one I helped her buy. But it still wasn't enough. I thought they'd give up. But they didn't. Instead, they went to family, begging for loans, twisting their version of the story. Alejandro betrayed us. Alejandro is ruining our lives. Some relatives refused. Others lent them small amounts out of pity. But it wasn't enough. Finally, a call from Fernando. His voice was raw, almost unrecognizable. Alejandro, we sold the house, we sold the cars, we even pawned Mom's jewelry, and we still don't have enough. Then keep selling. I want every cent. Silence. Then a broken laugh. You know, you're killing us. No, you killed yourselves the day you decided I was nothing but a bank account. 2 days later, the transfer arrived. €202,000. Every cent. I stared at the number, feeling a surge of satisfaction, but also a hollow coldness. I had won. But what had I really won? Then another message from Camila. You've destroyed everything. Mom is in tears. Dad isn't talking. We have nothing. Are you happy now? Yes. But they weren't finished. They tried one last thing. Another message from my mother, Isabel. Alejandro, we need to talk. You can't just abandon your family like this. I didn't abandon anyone. I just took back what's mine. Family isn't about money, Alejandro. No, but it was for you. And now it wasn't anymore. I blocked her number. I blocked Fernando. I blocked Camila. Then I went to the family WhatsApp group, scrolled to the top, and pressed Leave Group. For a moment, there was a twisted peace. Silence. Real silence. But not for them. I received one final email from Javier, my lawyer. They'd been evicted from the house. They couldn't pay rent. They couldn't get a new loan. Homeless. Broken. The family that once used me to live comfortably was now shattered. And I felt nothing. No guilt. No pity. Just freedom. For the first time in years, I wasn't anyone's bank account. I was just me. The days transformed into quiet nights. My phone stopped ringing. My thoughts stopped racing. I no longer waited for the next demand. I just lived. I hadn't been bowling in years, but that night, when my coworkers suggested it, I didn't hesitate. Life had become quiet, calm, free. No desperate calls. No emotional blackmail. Just peace. Alejandro, it's your turn, someone shouted. I picked up the familiar weight of the bowling ball, the neon lights dancing across the polished lanes. I lined up, took a breath, and bowled. Strike. Wow, Garcia, you're a natural, a coworker laughed. clapping me on the back. I smiled, genuinely. But then I saw him, 2 lanes over. A stooped man with graying hair, struggling with a ball that veered toward the gutter. He rubbed his face, looking older, smaller. But I recognized him instantly. My father, Fernando. My chest tightened. I thought about leaving, pretending I hadn't seen him. But he looked up. Our eyes met. Surprise. Shame. Then something else. Regret. He hesitated, then walked towards me, his step slow, unsure. Alejandro, I didn't think I'd see you here. I didn't think you'd want to see me. He looked at the empty lane beside him. Would you play a game? I could have said no. But I didn't. I nodded. We played in silence. My strikes, his misses. Each throw like a reminder of the distance between us. It's all gone, you know, he murmured. The house, the cars, your mother is living with Camila. We've lost everything. I know. I thought we'd be okay. I thought you'd always be there. Because you used me. I did, he whispered, his voice cracking. And I'm sorry. I failed you. I failed us all. A bitter laugh escaped me. You think an apology changes anything? No. But I need you to know. I was never strong. Not like you. I pretended. I hid behind you. His words hung between us, raw and heavy. I spent years trying to be good enough for you, I said, my voice low. But I was never more than your bank account. I know. His gaze dropped. I was jealous. My own son, better than me. And I tried to take everything you had. A wave of anger washed over me, but it faded as I looked at him, not as the imposing figure of my childhood, but just a small, defeated man. Why are you telling me this now? Because I have nothing left to hide behind. And because I'm proud of you, Alejandro. I always should have been. Silence. The rumble of bowling filled the air. I walked to the lane, bowled another ball. Another strike. The thunder of the pins felt like a release. I'm not coming back, I said quietly. I know. He hesitated, then extended a trembling hand. For a moment, I didn't move, but then, slowly, I took it. His grip was weak, but real. I turned to leave, the neon lights flickering behind me, the noise of the bowling alley fading. I didn't look back. Outside, the night air was cool. The city was alive. I breathed deeply, feeling a weight lift from my shoulders. For the first time, I wasn't angry. I wasn't trapped. I was just free.